Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. If you can surmise by the fact that it is clearly fall and my shoulders are fully exposed and I technically live in the Northeast, you might be able to put together that it is unseasonably warm. Cricket and I are getting ready to go to equine affair, and I always have Pony on a bit of a fitness program just because I'm trying to work on training him and moving him along in his training and his fitness. So even though it is incredibly warm, and these boys, this is Tomcat, he's not doing anything today, but they have their winter coats at least half on. So it's warm and it's a little uncomfortable for them. So I don't feel right about doing like any sort of intensive work for them. So I thought I would take Cricket and Pony out for a ride and pony off of Cricket. Now, Cricket has done a lot of ponying. He's both been ponied and the ponier. So Cricket already knows what he's doing here. It's Pony who's a little bit new to the idea of ponying. So I cannot recall who taught me this and like shout out whoever did. But one of the things that I learned is that when you're ponying a horse, or even like gosh, I'm sorry, I'm not Western enough to know what it's called. Dallying a rope? I don't know, pulling a rope, dragging something behind you. One of the things that might upset your horse is if the rope gets under their tail and then pulls up. But just make sure that your horse is comfortable with the concept of something getting under their tail. And I feel like, you know, if you have a pony or a horse ripping away from you while you're ponying them and it gets up under their tail and gives them rug burn, I don't know. God bless you, good luck. But at the very least, just under normal circumstances, make sure that your horse is cool with like ropes under the tail. Okay, let's do a quick tack tour. So this is Pony. I do have boots on his fronts. I probably would have put boots on his hinds, except he is too small for my boots that I have. And then I have Cricket, who will be doing the ponying. I have boots on all four of his. I have a Western saddle on him because I do think having the horn helps with mounting, which I think is the hardest part about ponying a horse. But yes, boots all around, boots wherever possible, even though I don't think they're terribly helpful if a horse actually gets kicked, but it makes me feel a little bit better. Western saddle, not a necessity. I've done a lot of ponying in an English saddle. I've done ponying bareback. Okay, protective gear for me is just gloves and a helmet. I always wear a helmet when I ride, even if I'm riding in a Western saddle, and especially when I'm doing something new or different or risky where I just think there's an increased chance of falling off. So helmet for helmet purposes, gloves so that if Pony does anything silly and bolts out of my hands, I don't get rope burn. Another pro tip, I have this nylon rope, cotton rope. Use the cotton rope. It will less likely to burn you if anything goes wrong. The most difficult part about ponying is having everyone stand still while you get on to mount. So this is another time when I would say if your horses all ground tie, or at least stand nicely, your life will be a lot easier. Now, I have made a slight error in judgment in that I got on with Pony to my left and I need him to be on my right side for this. So I'm just gonna ask Cricket to do a little yield his haunches. Oh, Pony, no. Okay, all right. Like I said, mounting is the hardest part for sure. Once you get this figured out, you're golden. So one of the primary reasons why I pony a horse is because I have a full-time job and a lot of times my barn time is limited and I like to own more horses than I have time to exercise. And so if I have something like I want to take everyone for a little bit of a hack, being able to do 2 horses at once is great. Another thing is that Pony isn't the most confident horse out of the arena. He's not a huge chicken, but there's no more confident role model than Cricket. And so, oh, I don't know what got you, Pony, but I mean, case in point, I don't know what Pony just spooked at, but Cricket didn't react at all. So yeah, it functions doubly, right? A couple of things to keep in mind that I don't think I mentioned yet, but are useful to know and think about. One, I have Pony in a breakaway halter. So if anything goes really, really wrong and he gets loose from me and runs off and gets caught up in a tree somewhere, the halter should break. Everyone should be safe. 2, We are actually in a fenced-in space right now. If you are ponying a horse or ponying off of a horse for the very first time, you might want to start smaller than what I've done, and that just makes it a little bit safer if anything goes wrong. Oh, okay. You know what? Fair enough, Tony. Pony got a little twig in his tail, trying to figure out what's the safest way to get it out of there. I think I might have to take him back to the barn. Oh, he got it out on his own. Nice. All right. Good work, everyone. So those of you who are watching on the video probably can't see this, but Pony is bumping Cricket a lot. And this is why it's really great to have a horse like Cricket you can use to pony other horses, because he is fairly tolerant and patient, even when a horse like Pony is definitely invading in his personal space. And I am trying to decide if I think it is a terrible idea to go into the woods. I think we're gonna do it. If you guys know anything about deer, it is their mating season, and they're all being a little bit silly right now. But I think with Cricket as our lead, he'll be a good example. Pony can get some good exposure. Pony, you're gonna have to follow here. Good boy. And this is why we practice, just in case that rope gets underneath of his tail. Something good to practice. Good boy, Pony. All right, Pony, you don't need to jump. Watch Cricket. See how chill he is? Good boy, Pony. Because I'm going straight into the woods with my guys. But when you're ponying a horse for the very first time, stay away from trees, stay away from jump standards, stay away from like open gates, something where you and the horse you're riding can be separated from the horse you're ponying. You want to make sure that you don't get anyone wrapped around a tree. I most certainly have done that to Tomcat, and he was real chill about it. But make sure you're being thoughtful to your horses so that you don't put them in a bad position. Now, for a horse that is more confirmed at ponying, you absolutely can trot and even canter. But seeing as my pony has been just getting a little bit, I don't know, it's not been the quietest version of himself. So I'm just gonna keep it at a walk. Something fun though I would like to do with Pony. Good boy, Pony. Good boy. I think perhaps heading towards home back in the barn was a mistake, so we'll try that again. Good boy. Much better. Good boy, Pony. And I think we'll just do one more big square around my dead pastures, and then we'll let that be the end of their ride. Again. Good boys. Good boy, Pony. Oh. Another tip that I'm just thinking of now, dismount away from the extra horse. Don't dismount in between your two horses. Same for mounting. Try to just do everything as safe as you can so that you're not ever caught in the crosshairs if things turn south, even though these two seem to be getting along just fine. You stand. Good boy. So truthfully, for this entire video, I've been trying to give a whole bunch of tips for things to teach your horse if you want to pony off of them. But the real conclusion that I am drawing is if you want to pony off of your horse, he better be a saint. So anyways, thanks for watching today's video. I hope you learned something about ponying, or maybe you just learned something that cricket is perfect. Oh, so good. But if you liked today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more perfect cricket content. Mwah. 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 I love you, cricket.